Welcome to Season 2 of the Craft Beer Connoisseurs Podcast. I'm Chris, and if you're new to the podcast, we're three friends and a producer who like to showcase craft breweries and their beers. Also, we like to end every episode with a short conversation on a variety of different topics. If you're not new to the podcast, welcome back. We'll keep things similar to Season 1. After all, if it isn't broke, then don't fix it. Whether you're new or returning, please feel free to listen to all of our Season 1 content. And remember to follow us on Instagram at Craft Beer Cons, send a friend request on Untapped, or subscribe on YouTube at Craft Beer Connoisseurs. Also, drop a comment, like, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Now for today's episode. Welcome to the Craft Beer Connoisseurs. I'm Chris.
I'm Tyler.
And I'm Brett, and along with us today is producer Chuck.
Hey, Chucker.
Hey, Chucky. So,
I love that for us.
we all have different names for him.
Yeah.
In today's episode, we're going to be reviewing Walkerville Brewery in Windsor, Ontario.
Oh, I know that place.
Yeah, me too.
We're going to be having two beers today. The first one is Pin High Pils, which is a pilsner.
Yeah.
Okay, good job, guys. And the second is their Irish Red Ale.
Okay. And to finish up the episode, we're going to share some of our most memorable post-secondary school experiences.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
All right, so Walkerville Brewery is located at 525 Argyle Road in the Walkerville neighborhood of Windsor.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, does quite a bit of sense. So they're actually the largest brewery in Windsor. And the brewery was founded all the way back in 1885 by Hiram Walker, a man known as the founder of Hiram Walker and Sons Limited, who also manufactures spirits such as Canadian Club.
There you go.
It's well known in that area.
It is.
Yes.
You can smell it.
You took it away from me, man. You can
You
smell
guys
it.
do know Windsor more than we do. That's
We
for
do.
sure.
We know that East End Windsor.
We're going to be doing a nostalgic trip someday.
Yeah.
We have to.
So the initial incarnation. Oh my goodness, the English initial incarnation. See, I got it now.
It's a tough word.
It is. Of the brewery operated from 1885 until 1956. A new company with the same name started in 1998, but later declared bankruptcy in 2007. The company was later purchased again and became the brewery it is today. Man, the last 80% of that, I nailed it.
Third time's a charm. Not for your speaking, but maybe for the brewery, right? Walkerville handcrafts unique styles of beers in small batches using quality barley. And again, we've seen this time and time again with craft breweries. When you use quality ingredients, you get quality beers.
Absolutely.
Right? So they, again, pride themselves on delivering fresh, flavorful beers. Again, dovetailing off the barley, right?
Yep.
So in order to get flavorful beers, sometimes you want to ensure that those ingredients are, again, quality.
Yep.
They always have unique and interesting beers flowing from their tanks and tabs, hopefully into cans, kegs, if not.
Glasses,
My
even.
glass. Yeah.
My glass.
If not, we might just want to go there with a straw and just mop it up for them.
Yeah. Some spillage dripping out of the tanks.
Yeah. So do you guys kind of want to talk about the brewery? I haven't. So this is kind of interesting, right? Because we weren't really into craft beer before when we were actually in Windsor.
We were not.
I enjoyed a type of beer, and you told me it was water, and thus our friendship began.
I thought that I was drinking premium beer when I was drinking Heineken's.
Yeah. And the other time I'd bring out Dos Equis.
Oh, I love the Dos Equis.
Yeah, and I'd call it Dos Equis.
Yeah.
You don't always drink beer, but when he did.
It was my beer.
It was Dos Equis, yeah.
So-
Stay thirsty, friends.
So Walkerville Brewery.
See, it's tough to get English out right now.
Sometimes it can be that way. Their beers are brewed with tradition in mind, and we've seen this again, time and time again. They really pride themselves in their tradition of their beers. Mm-hmm. So you use the finest ingredients, as previously mentioned, in their unpasteurized single batches with no artificial preservatives, flavors, or colors. So what we see today when we crack these beers, no artificial preservatives, no colors, no artificial flavors at all. We're talking about good quality ingredients.
100% pure.
And hopefully that comes out with, again, premium, fresh, handcrafted beers.
Yeah.
Perfect. So the brewery occupies an 18,000 square foot building called Surge Plant 16. And is only
It's a cool name.
Right? And it's only a couple blocks away from the original brewery location. The brewery also strives to bring together community through events, festivals, and fundraisers, as we've seen with a lot of breweries throughout our seasons.
Yeah, so they're actually part of something that was recently announced called Distillery Square. So if you've ever been to the Walkerville area of Windsor,
Yes.
there are, I don't know, a half dozen distilleries there, right by the Via Rail train station. So as you
Yes.
get off the train, just that malt hits you in the face.
It's like a bread factory.
Yeah, it totally does. So Distillery Square will transform some of Walkerville's historic and iconic buildings into the center of a vibrant and urban lifestyle. So basically, they're going to have some residential lofts, office and restaurant and retail spaces, a boutique hotel, and of course, Walkerville Brewery and the Hiram Walker distilleries. So taking a look at it online, it kind of reminds me of the 100 Kellogg Lane here in London, where it's kind of like a lot of different, things in
Mixed
one,
uses.
Yeah, a lot of different mixed uses
From a zoning perspective.
Happening in one place. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's like your one-stop destination for a whole bunch of different things.
So I'm going to jump in there and say that Windsor struggled with its identity after kind of the automotive crash and what we saw with the retail.
But then they found it once you guys left, right?
Yeah. So the real estate issues in Detroit and how that kind of played itself over on our side of the border as well. And so I think that something like this is really good for Windsor and shifting people out of that downtown core and giving them a different experience on that east end is kind of crucial. And I really like what they're doing and the mixed uses and really looking at their zoning bylaw and really making those changes to allow for, again, office, retail, residential loft. You're really creating a community within a community. And that's exciting to see.
Because really the only kind of touristy area in Windsor was the casino, Caesars Windsor.
Right.
And, that's right downtown.
What about Treehouse or like Boom Boom Room?
Yeah, I don't think those exist anymore.
No.
Yeah. The beach. Yeah.
The beach. Yeah. Yeah. The beach was gone before we even left.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, moving people out of the downtown to still give them that, kind of cool experience. I think that's great for the city.
And right by the Via Rail, as you previously mentioned. Right. Again, it's that stop.
Yeah. Just get off the train.
Chuck, we keeping you up, Chuck?
Chuck's gone.
Oh,
now.
boy.
Yawn.
This is going to be a tough
Tyler
one, boys.
and Chris are kind of just going through talking about Windsor this and Windsor
Why
that.
don't you talk about the awards then, right?
I will. That's more exciting than hearing you guys talk. Jesus. They have won 21 Ontario Brewing Awards, including 9 golds in the past 6 years. So just kind of touching on 2021, in terms of the Ontario Brewing Awards, they won their gold for the Honest Lager and Scotch Ale, and then bronze for the Kremlin Russian Imperial Stout. And in terms of the Canadian Brewing Awards, they won 2 golds. One for the Rollbach Doppelbock, and then one for the Geronimo IPA. And I've actually had the Geronimo IPA before.
There you go.
Yes.
Now, do you want to talk about some of the experiences? Because, again, Chris and I have not been there, but I believe that you have been there, same with producer Chuck.
This is kind of the ironic thing about this, is that you guys lived in Windsor for 4 years and never ventured there.
No money for that craft beer.
Yeah.
We're struggling.
We're broke.
Where myself
Struggling students
and producer Chuck, and the only time I think we've ever been to Windsor in our lives, made a stop at Walkerville. It's probably true. Anyway, producer Chuck went for a nice little tour of Windsor last year, and he stated that it's kind of his favorite brewery. Kind of reminded him of like a Nashville type bar. Look from the outside. Inside, there's lots of displays, in glass cases of cans, bottles, and then as well as history posts on the wall. And they have some cool swag.
Ooh.
Right.
Love some swag, which they actually provided to us as well. We have a little bit of swag.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, who doesn't like some good swag, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So in terms of beers that we've had from Walkerville, Chris, I'm going to let you lead with this one.
Yeah, so I've only had one. It was called the Smooth Sail Summer Ale.
Good name, though.
it is a cool name, cool can. I actually only didn't rate it too high, so yeah.
I mean, hey,
That happens.
to each their own, right?
Yeah.
I feel as though these two beers you're going to rate high today.
I hope so.
Yes. For myself, I had 5 before, and my most favorite, or highest rated, if you will, was the Whiff Unfiltered.
Sorry, I thought we were talking about you at the plate.
No, I think it has to go.
Oh, okay, sorry.
I'm pretty sure it has to go with the Pin High that we're having in a bed. Might have been a changed name. But anyway, in terms of the beer I've had from Walkerville, I've had 5. With Unfiltered Pilsner was my highest at a 4. Tyler, speaking of how many beers you've had from there.
Well, yeah, whoever wrote the script here basically gave me what I like to call the Tim Hortons, otherwise known as the Donut.
So you've had 0, so kind of like your batting average.
I've had
All right.
I've had 0, yeah. Unless I was, hitting against you, and it'd be a different story.
Yes, you'd still be at 0.
Yeah, okay.
And Chuck has had, so we mentioned that Chuck went to the brewery, 4 beers and 1 cider. So Walkerville also does ciders. The Tropical Breeze cider gave it a 4.75.
That's pretty high. Also,
is high.
producer Chuck likes his ciders.
He does. And his highest rated beer was the Rob Roy Scotch Ale at 3.75. He says their cider is fantastic. Went with his mom and his fiance.
Aww.
They both thoroughly enjoyed the ciders as well.
God. Chuck and his fiance.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
love to see that.
Yeah, you do.
So in the LCBO, we got the Honest Lager. I wouldn't lie to you about it. And they've also got the Purity Pilsner, the Easy Stout, the Geronimo IPA, which was previously mentioned, the Rob Ray Scotch Ale. So just in case Chuck wants to get a little tasty poo-poo, there you go. That one's for you,
Yep,
wife.
thank you.
Kremlin Russian Imperial Stout there. You might want to stay away from that one just based on the current things. And the Argyle Apple Cider. So they do have what I would consider a plethora in the LCBOs.
And some award winners, too. Yeah.
But do you want
Exactly.
to know what you can't stay away from or shouldn't stay away from?
What's that?
The actual brew itself. So in terms of their hours that they are open, Sunday to Thursday, 11 to 6, Friday, 11 to 10, and Saturday, 11 to 8.
Now, they only do delivery in the Windsor, Essex area, but they do give free delivery on orders $35 or over. Now, although we're not in the Windsor, Essex area, we still got our beers delivered. So
that was very nice of them.
Yeah, that was very nice.
We also do have friends still in the Windsor, Essex area that I think we could tap into. If
I think we could do that if
Okay.
needed for sure. So as always, we're going to link to their information on our social media so you can get a hold of their beers.
And I feel as though maybe we should tap into the first beer, eh?
Let's do it.
All right.
And we are back. So
Yes, we are.
big thank you to Natalie at Walkerville for providing the beers on today's episode. Thank you. Yep. Round of applause for Natalie. So the first beer we're having today is called Pin High Pils, which is a Pilsner. Comes in at 4.3 ABV and 16 IBUs.
And that's why you didn't hear my clap because I was doing a golf clap. For the Pin High
I
Pills.
see. Oh, okay.
Missed that. Sorry. Yeah, this is, stay tuned here because this is going to be a long description of it. So it's a fresh, easy drinking pills brewed with 100% malted barley, which we talked about earlier on, and a long, slow fermentation.
And kind of like my golf swing, delivers a truly smooth. Now, my golf swing's not smooth at all, but it does also provide a refreshing taste, perfect for your day out on the golf course.
I don't like golfing.
Oh, why not?
Listen,
Yes.
I've been one time in my life.
And he tore up the 18th green.
Just mucked it up.
Oh, brutal.
The superintendent was not happy.
That's not true. We don't know what they felt.
I know what they felt. They weren't happy.
Yeah, you can't ruin the course, Tyler. So on Untapped, you can follow us at Craft Beer Connoisseurs and on our Instagram at Craft Beer Cons. The overall rating for this Pin High Pills is 3.65 out of 5 with 101 check-ins. Only 1.5 though.
Some would call that a hole in one.
Yeah, so that is, Brett, for math, less than 1% for you.
Thank you.
So the can, which we are having today, has 74 check-ins with a 3.67 average.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's grab our glass, grab our can. It's a nice one. And let's open her up. Ooh, very nice.
Chris, what glassware are you going to be drinking this out of?
Well, Since it is a Pilsner, we are drinking this out of a pint glass. So again, make sure to use your proper glassware as always.
Yeah, so producer Chuck is looking forward to this one. So getting a little bit sleepy there, as we previously mentioned. Just keep pouring there. You're going to get a nice little head on it. That's nice. Good job. Perfect job, Chuck. Okay, Brett, you want to talk about the can itself, and we've already know what the glass looks like.
Sure. So the can itself has a nice little golf ball with, kind of where I'd be on a par 4, about a 3-foot putt.
Right. Bunker?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, 3-foot putt for birdie.
Oh, that was a bunker.
That's not a bunker, no.
I think that's your 3-foot putt for triple bogey.
No. Pin
Another
high,
type of
pin
beer.
high for birdie, my friend. A pin high for birdie. So yeah, it's kind of again straightforward. I feel as though a lot of these golf courses are going to have this beer coming up this year.
Yeah.
Because it just makes sense. Let's be serious,
Why
right?
not?
Yeah, I remember one time Chuck, myself, and Brett went out for a golf thing for
The one time that he went golfing.
It's called a round.
for our baseball team, and we were playing best ball, but we used more of Chuck's than my balls, so that's interesting.
I might have been indulging in too many pin high pilsners that day.
Sometimes the way it goes, but you've got to use at least each person's drive a certain amount of time.
Oh, trust
We
me, when
shared
you
the
saw
wealth.
Brett's, you didn't want to use it.
The back 9 was worse than the front 9.
But
Front
when we-
9 we used a lot of mine. Back 9 not so much.
That's a lie. When we look at this beer, though, we see a lot of translucent. Again, very clear, very crisp looking, right? A very soft yellow, I would describe it as. Chuck's giving me...
Chuck's got the flashlight out.
But look,
Finally, there's some light in here. Good lord.
illuminating the whole entire
He's just
room.
trying to wake himself up.
In terms of the head retention, there's not a whole lot there. What do you guys smell anything on this one? What do you got for a pills?
Not overly strong.
No.
Yeah.
on the
Kind of
nose.
just kind of sitting there.
Yeah, it's pretty subtle, but has that scent of a pilsner that you would kind of expect, though.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get sipping this
I
one.
was going to say, does it have the taste of a pilsner? Chris,
Well,
since you're the
let's-
first one in, you let me know. Okay, take another sip.
Right?
Then let me know.
Right, you're going to be the second one in? You let me know.
I like to take a couple sips before I kind of break it down. Yeah, definitely has that pilsner flavor. With that again crispiness and pretty smooth, and a little bit of that maltiness coming through.
Getting a little floralness here on the back end.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not getting that. A very traditional kind of pilsner. It is lighter. It's not overbearing, which again sometimes pilsners I can see sometimes on the back end it leaves this bit of a lingering flavor profile. I'm not really getting that with this. It's pretty subdued. We're talking low ABV, right?
Yep.
So very easy drinking. It's going nicely so far.
Yeah.
4.3%. By the way, just
Yeah. So again, fairly low. A decent range for a pilsner.
Again, this is a beer that you're going to probably during an 18-hole round. That's what it's called, a round.
And you play 18 holes
18
per
holes,
round. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Probably have 3
There's
or 4.
so many jokes about being around, but we'll go with it.
Probably have 3 or 4 of these easily.
Oh, at least, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you
I
got
wouldn't suggest doing a beer whole. But a beer
Well,
for few
no,
holes.
that would be 18.
as long as
That's
you
good
have
math.
somebody that is being your designated driver, because
Both
you're
with the golf
responsible.
cart and your way home.
Right. Don't drive the cart if you're having 4 of these.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's get into 5 flavor profiles. I'm going to take these ones, guys, if you don't mind.
Please do.
I'll lead this one. I'll lead off, right? That's what you do when you're the first one to take your strokes. You're the leadoff guy? Good. Sounds good.
No,
No.
but sure.
Okay. Well, we'll allow you to have it, but
It's called You're Away, but okay.
I'm right here. I'm right beside you. Number
We wish
one
you were right.
is smooth.
yeah, it goes down. Definitely smooth.
Yeah, it's smooth, but I don't know if it's number 1 for me.
Yeah, it's not number 1, but it's within the top 5.
Yeah.
Number 2 is refreshing.
Yeah, it is refreshing. It would certainly be nice to have, on a hot day on the course, right?
Right.
Or not on the course.
Of course. Number 3 is light.
Yeah, this
light.
is definitely light. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, we talked about what the alcohol content is. Again, just visually, it looks light, and it tastes the same way that it kind of looks. Like it's very true to itself. I feel like, at least.
Yeah.
Chuck, gone quiet. Number 4, malty.
Chuck's sleeping. Malty, it's you can kind of taste it, but it's not, anything special for me. I'm gonna kind of take it out of the top 5. If there was a 6th option, probably be number 6.
Yeah, it doesn't jump out to me at all.
And number 5, full.
I don't even know what that means. So, no, it's not full.
Well, yeah, because our glass is now half full.
Or is it half empty?
Oh, look at you go.
So Chuck says, no crisp again? Question mark. Or crushable? Question mark.
Oh, definitely crushable. This beer is definitely crushable.
Yeah, it
I'd
is.
put that in top 5 for sure.
And I agree. Like, crisp is kind of a hallmark of a pilsner, and I would say this does have that crispiness. Maybe not like a number 1, but maybe 3 or 4 for sure.
Okay. So let's get to some Untapped user thoughts on this. And a fun fact, 5 photos on Untapped were on a golf course.
Yeah,
As it should be.
Yeah, exactly.
makes sense, right?
Seems rather appropriate, doesn't
Chris,
I mean, it's not like we've been able to play golf for a while, but
you haven't gone indoors, have you?
no.
No. There you go.
I got a question about indoor golf later, but I'll save it for offline. But remind me.
Okay, can't wait for that. So the first review comes from Eric S. Eric R. Schiller is the handle on December 22nd. Said floral herbal hop, golden malt reminiscent of bread dough, a touch yeasty, very mild bitterness, nice but not thrilling. And Eric gave it a 3.25 out of 5.
You want to know the best part of that whole thing?
What?
Is that you stumbled over the words that you wrote. That's all.
Yeah.
That's my bad.
Happens. We've all done it.
That's script writing 101. I'm going to take the stab at the next one, and hopefully I do not mess this up, or else I will not hear the end of it. It comes from a lovely name of Ty V. The handle is
name.
Golf Guy Ty, which I was actually going to use as mine, but it was already taken.
Right, yeah.
So I couldn't use it.
okay.
So
Totally.
Ty V, you took it on me. So on November 7th, which was relatively close to my birthday, but you shouldn't probably be at a golf course on November 7th. But hey, to each their own. Stated the following. Good, but not as good as Mike N's golf game. 4 under for fun, which coincidentally is usually what I get on the course
Right.
when I'm doing a round.
Right.
And paying for a round usually after, because I've usually got the best score.
Because you've won.
You're welcome. Gave it a 3.75 out of 5. Brett, please, with your strokes, let us know what you're going to give this a score of.
I'm going to give this a 3.5 out of 5.
Very nice. I'm going to come in with a 3.25 out of 5.
I'm going to go a bit lower than both of you. I'm going to go with a 3.0. And Chuck coming in at 3.25 also.
Yeah. The odd time, Chuck, struggles a little bit, but it's all good. So that gives us a team overall score of 3.25. And shall we kind of move on to the second beer? Maybe go into another hole?
Yeah,
Another beer?
let's do it.
All right. All right, we're back. So the second beer we're going to have is Walkerville's Irish Red Ale, 4.8 ABV and 20 IBUs.
Nice. I'm actually looking forward to this. We haven't really had a whole lot of Irish red ales.
That's
No,
fair.
we haven't.
And I enjoy a good red ale, so I am looking forward to this one. So, again, a bit of a discrepancy here. On Untapped, it's called Redbeard Irish Red Ale, but on the can, there's no mention of red beer at all. Now, that could be because we haven't had it yet and spilled it all over our good, luscious beards that we don't really have. But we do have a little
Hey,
bit of...
some of us have nice beards.
Yeah, it's not like a full beard.
Oh, you mean
We're
like...
not,
you know what I
going
mean?
down to our chest.
We've
or
all
anything.
got a little scruff,
Yeah,
but we're
for
not
sure.
talking about full-on red beard style.
No, true.
All right? Relax.
So, this beer with a deep red color, true to its name, this ale is going to be very mild and easy drinking, complemented by a subtle fruity character from the English yeast.
My goodness, I got a lot of talking here, fellas. So on Untapped, there are 626 check-ins.
26, that's right. Yeah.
Yes, producer's a little slow on this. We hope that the information is up to date with a 3.61 rating. The can, there's 84 ratings at 3.67, which is slightly above the average. Now, most check-ins are actually by draft,
Oh,
which
you
we
don't
like to
see
see.
that a
You don't
lot.
see that, yeah.
You really don't, which is again promising to hopefully that redevelopment of that area, right?
Lots of locals are checking in.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Which is 223 readings at 3.65. So again, still above. Now, with that being said, you guys want to know what the 5s out of 5s are?
How many?
We have 17. 17 5 out of 5s.
That's a good amount.
I think so.
It's a great amount. It's a great amount,
It's an
actually. Yeah.
unbelievable amount.
So what we're going to do here is we're going to probably open up this can. So you want to grab that can? You want to grab your glass? And let's open her up. Ooh, nice. So, Chris, what do we got there, bud?
Well, we are drinking this Irish red ale out of a mug today, so make sure to use your proper glassware.
That is correct. Not a red glass, just a mug.
No, definitely not a red glass today.
No, you want to keep it off your beard.
Yeah, totally.
true.
Perhaps.
Totally.
All right, what are we looking at, fellas? What do we got here? I see a nice red hue.
Definitely red, and pretty. I mean, it's not necessarily see-through because it's red, but it's a clear beer. Like there's nothing floating around. No adjuncts or anything like that. Definitely a clear red ale.
Yeah, no, I like it. The head on it is again a tight kind of condensed form kind of bubble. I think we all got a little bit of head on ours.
Yeah.
Brett, you're a little bit
less.
smaller, but not too bad.
A little frothy on the head too.
Yeah. And then the condensation in, what's that look like?
The carbonation, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. What did I say?
Condensation.
That's twice I've done that.
Yeah.
Gosh, I've done
Why?
that in the last couple of weeks. I don't know why I've done that.
I don't know.
You know what? I keep thinking of like the inoculation points is really where I want to
Just
go
a
with
big
it.
fan of condensation.
Well, if I lay this out here in the sun, we'll probably get there.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
So carbonation, again, not really a lot going on with this beer, which is okay, I think.
I
from
also
a red
find
ale.
this color to be a lot darker of a red than I was expecting. Personally.
You thought it was going to be darker, eh?
Yeah. No, I thought it was going to be lighter, sorry.
Lighter,
Like,
okay.
this is a very much a darker red than what I was expecting.
Right, gotcha.
Yes.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it's pretty spot on to what I was expecting, to be honest.
What about on the nose? You guys get anything off the nose?
A little bit. They mentioned something about some fruity notes. I do get a little bit of fruit on the nose.
Yeah, I think like maybe some stone fruit, perhaps. What do you say?
Yeah, maybe that, or even a little bit of citrus.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how this plays out
Yeah.
because I feel like it could kind of go between a couple of different areas. So I am looking forward to that. So
Okay. Well, shall we taste it?
yeah,
Let's do it.
All right.
I think we should.
I think we should too. That's why I suggested it. Okay.
You get anything?
The back end kind of gives you makes you. It's weird because it almost made me pucker, and I know it's not a sour, but it's kind of just you had that last sip, you're like
Yeah.
quite put your finger on it. You know what I mean?
I know what you're saying totally. So I do think there is a little bit of, again, fruitiness, like just a tiny bit, a little bit of sweetness, and then obviously that maltiness that you would expect
Yeah.
from
Caramel malts are
red
coming
ale.
through for sure.
Yeah, but not like overpowering from a caramel perspective. Like sometimes that red ale is very sweet, like sugar sweetness rather than a fruit sweetness. But I think this is more on the fruit side.
Yeah, I get the whole kind of like butterscotchy kind of flavor to this. But again, it's not like overpowering in any sense. It's nice, like it's subtle.
It's a very mellow beer.
Yeah, like it's got a good flavor profile. There's nothing that's really like jumping out and kind of like distracting me from it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's nice.
You know, and we mentioned that we don't really have a lot of red ales on the podcast. And I think this is one of the beers, or one of the styles of beers that is actually underrated in terms of being a beer that non-craft beer drinkers really gravitate to. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of like a lot of people, if they're not really into the craft beer scene, if they go to a craft brewery, they might look to a red ale for whatever reason.
Underrated, underappreciated at the same time.
Yeah, true.
Totally. Tyler?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think something like this, again, it's not like a beer you're going to have like 3-4 of them.
No.
But 1 or 2 with a nice dinner, and you get that... you get down the road a little bit where you understand what kind of pairings that this would work with, and you can have a really good dinner, and this I think is going to help kind of like amplify the food that you're actually having.
I feel it's like a nice ham, potato kind of dish would complement this very nicely.
See, I was thinking more of a red meat.
Yeah, I was thinking steak.
Like a steak or like even a burger. Like a nice burger.
Yeah,
like this would go well with like a medium rare maybe.
Yeah, this is like, honestly, this beer would be really good as your, substitute to a red wine.
Yeah.
When you're having with with your food. So I that's a good call in terms of the pairing with the food.
Producer Chuck coming in here. Pork chops. Loves himself a good pork chop.
Yeah, not bad, but see, a pork chop I would think would go more with an IPA. And like, again, you kind of match it with the wine style. Like a pork chop I think would be more with a white.
Yeah.
Than you would with a red. And something like this, maybe like a prime rib even, obviously,
yes.
kind of going that way. Would
a prime rib in a while, yeah.
Right, would be nice. So that's where I kind of see this.
Yeah.
Like a prime
That's
rib,
fair.
maybe a mixed veggie in there, something something basic. Again, I'm not the food guy. But if it's in front of me, I will eat it.
Food will definitely bring out the best in this beer. So in terms of the top 5 flavor profiles, let's get into that. Number 1 is smooth.
Yeah. It goes down smooth.
It's smooth. It's nice. It's again balanced.
Yeah, I agree. Number 2 is malty.
A little bit of malt, but I wouldn't put it as number 2 personally.
Yeah, I was thinking
in the
same.
5, but not number 2.
Yeah. Number 3 is sweet.
The sweetness, I think, comes from that caramel butterscotch kind of
on the back
flavor.
end.
But that's where I would almost. Can I jump ahead a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like caramel's not on this list.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
And I would put it on here and maybe move that malty down, move the sweet up, move the caramel on there, and producers saying the exact same sort of thing, like possible caramel to be on the list. So that's where I'm kind of coming from.
Yeah, number 4 is light, which I don't necessarily think this is light.
No, I don't think this beer drinks light.
No.
Right? I know at 4.8%, and I always found like red ales kind of drink a little bit higher than what the ABVs advertised, personally.
So I think I kind of get where they're going with this, as it is light. To me, it's a light red ale. I don't feel like encumbered by it in any sort of way. And this kind of goes with, again, like meal pairings and what that looks like. Is I feel like I could have a couple of these and not feel bloated in any sense. I think it drinks light. It's again, it doesn't feel like it weighs me down in any like flavor profile aspect.
Yeah, fair. So the last one is creamy. Personally, not really getting
same
creamy
here.
from this.
Yeah, if you're gonna put it in there, I actually wish that this was kind of creamy. And now that I see it, I was like, oh, it would be really nice to be a little bit more kind
You know
of
what?
creamy.
I'm going to borrow a line from Brett and say this beer would be great with lactose.
Oh no, the lactose train has
What about
arrived.
some vanilla extract?
Yeah,
perhaps,
vanilla.
right?
There
Are we
you
talking
go.
about
British
real
Czech
vanilla
coming
or real vanilla extract? You know, is it the bean or is it the
No,
extract?
just say vanilla.
All right. Well, what about what other people think about this? Let's check out what some of our Untapped users think.
Yeah, let's
Yes.
check that out, Brett.
So the first one is from Quarter Kickass, K, with the handle of Quarter Kickass. On August 9th, 2021, said, "It's reading sweet to my palate. Honestly, all the Walkerville beers are drinking sweet. 3 out of 5.
I would have liked for some investigative journalism there to understand if that individual had more than one Walkerville beer, if they'd had a flight or something on that same time. Because it sounds like they've had several.
It does sound like that.
Which I feel like they may be one of them locals.
Kudos to you.
Yeah.
So I've got the next one. The next one is Darren D. The handle is engineer-D2. Like the Mighty Ducks, but the second one. On December 18th, 2020. So
We're
going back.
Yeah.
We are going back. Stated, slightly sweet, malty, nice balance of flavor. 3.25 out of 5. I think that's a very justifiable response, Darren.
Yeah. I can't argue with Darren or Quarter Kick-Ass. I would say I am leaning towards a 3.0 on this one.
Okay. I am going to go with a 3.25.
All right. And for myself, I'm going to give this, again, a very balanced beer. Good flavor coming through. I'm going to give it a 3.5. And producer Chuck is also going to give it a 3.5, which, Chris, if you could do the math on that one, or at least have Chuck do the math for you.
Yeah, Chuck is saying this is a 3.3125, which we are going to round down slightly to 3.25.
Yes, agreed. And that concludes our review of Walkerville and the beers that they provided for the episode today.
Very nice. So coming up, we're going to share some of our most memorable post-secondary school experiences. Hopefully, they're all good ones.
All right, we're back in school.
Oh.
School is in session.
It is. There you go.
School's out for the summer.
No,
Actually,
school's in.
Actually, for us, school is out forever because I don't think any of us are going back.
I still do education.
I hope to God I'm not going
I guess
back
we
to
all do.
school.
We all do professional development, but like actually going back for an actual program, if you will.
Yeah, that is not in the cards for me.
And no.
Might be doing my master's. We'll see.
Oh, all right. So you may remember from past episodes or even this episode that Tyler and I went to university in Windsor,
But never went to Walkerville.
which is also the home of Walkerville Brewery, and we met there in Windsor.
Don't sound so excited about it.
We met there.
There it
So we thought that this would be a perfect episode to talk about our post-secondary school experiences. So maybe we'll just kind of recap for everybody who's not necessarily following along. Where did we go to post-secondary and what subjects did we take? So again, I went to Windsor. I took business, specifically accounting. Brett?
I went to Fanshawe. Took Rec and Leisure. Passed.
We're all surprised by that, too.
D for done.
It wasn't a D. It was an A for
Effort.
yes.
A for effort. Wow. Good job. So I went to University of Windsor as well. I did the sociology criminology thing, and then I graduated with a minor in philosophy. And then I also did a postgrad in community and social service management through Conestoga.
Yeah. And so Chuck.
Chucker.
He did kinesiology at Western.
Yes, while watching many episodes of his favorite show, Walker, Texas Ranger.
Does he like that? Yeah.
Who doesn't?
He does.
He also did further education, but he's being a little secretive about what that is.
It's true.
So,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Chuck keeps secrets.
Maybe he was doing some karate or something like that.
Karate.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
All right. So when we went to post-secondary, did we live in residence or, a rental home, or did we live at home? So me, personally, I lived in residence the first year and then rented a house for the final 3 years of school.
Yep. First year I lived in residence. Second year I lived in a rental home with two of my friends. Was a time. Let's go that route. Was a time.
Was the time I was there once.
Oh, wow.
A couple times, actually. So for myself, I was in residence first and second year, actually. Second year it was a very strange situation.
Different residence.
Different
Both years,
residence,
yeah.
yep. Third year, I lived in a house with several Italian
a lot
women.
of people.
One being my ex-girlfriend at the time.
Well, you lived in a house with what, 5 women?
I had 5 women.
And I lived in
5
a house
Italian women.
I lived in a house with 4
See,
women.
that sounds like a dream, but also a nightmare at the same time.
And one of them was my ex-girlfriend at the time.
I'll tell you what. People think that men are messy.
Ooh,
Women
no.
are messy.
It was bad. It was bad. And then my last year, I lived in a house shared with a couple other individuals. And at one point in time, my ceiling was on fire. But it wasn't when I was there. It was prior to my arrival. It was a whole thing. But I was looking for somewhere to stay my last year because obviously I was going to stay with my ex another year. And yeah, I mean, it was a decent place.
So what you're saying here is maybe not the ceiling of the roof, but the roof was on fire.
At one point in time, yes, it was.
Oh, well, good old Chucky. He was in residence for his first year of university and then a home rental for the final 3 years. So kind of the same thing. His secretive continuing education, he spent another 4 years in a basement apartment. So again, another kind of off-campus home rental. Now, university, college, like, did we actually learn that much? Personally, I feel like
It shows. Go ahead.
So I feel like the most valuable thing that I learned and that I took from university is like how to be independent, how to live on my own, and how to be an adult rather than actually like that academic learning.
But university didn't
good
throw you that information. It was just by circumstance you learned that. Yeah, okay.
Right. That's why like I would recommend to anybody if they are going to post-secondary education to not live at home, to get that opportunity to be on your own and learn how to live on your own.
I think in terms of did we actually learn much, it's a two-ended question. The first part would be the actual program that I took. Yes, I learned a lot. Do I use much of that today in my own life? No. But in terms of actually learning more about yourself as an individual and as a person while you go there, yes.
Yeah.
I learned a lot about myself and what it takes to be an adult and be a person. And I think that's more of the lessons that I've taken with me that I carry with me today.
Yeah, totally agree.
Fair enough. I think for myself is it developed my ability to critically think. And maybe this was just, again, differentiating on like the programs that we took, right? And maybe I was just a little bit more cognizant of that situation and said, okay, this is who I am. This is what I know. But I did learn some skills as I went through my program. I don't know. I saw it a little bit differently. And maybe that's just because I tried to look at it in a different perspective. But I always felt like I needed to challenge myself, or else really what was my point of being there, right?
Yeah, and I think that, maybe had a lot to do with the program that you were in where it required that kind of,
Critical thought.
critical
in a different
thinking.
way, yeah.
Whereas like my program, for example, was more of like you do a test. Are you providing the right answer? Yes or no? There's no real actual like thinking about it.
And if you look at what we've all taken in post-secondary, we all kind of took 4 really different things,
Yeah.
right?
for sure.
Like all different spectrums, if you will, right? Producer Chuck agreed with me. Wow. Amazing. But he had a lot of life lessons, right? Maybe more so learned a lot about himself versus more so the topics and programs that he was studying.
Yeah. So what about the best part of your experience at post-secondary school? So, I mean, I would be remiss if I didn't mention that I met my wife at university as well. And and Tyler, I met
sorry.
you there. Yeah.
Just clear my throat there.
If you look back at a previous episode we did, apparently Tyler was there a lot for Subway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He was eating Subway all day at my house. Yeah. So
All day, every day.
So I guess that would be the best part is, meeting my future wife.
Yes. Best part for me is kind of, again, just moving away from home. Granted, I moved 45 minutes away from home, so I was still kind of there. But just, again, growing more so as a person, right? And growing to be more independent and actually learn more about myself.
That is beautiful.
Which I don't know if it worked out well for me, but at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, the best part for myself is, I guess, discovering who I am, what I'm about. I went through a couple different relationships during school and understanding what independence was and kind of navigating that whole entire like social kind of understanding. There's nothing I would change about it. And I kind of miss those. So miss those memories, right? And,
yeah. It was definitely a good time, and yeah, I agree. Though I kind of miss that.
Wouldn't change it for the world. But at the same time, we are all now grown adults. Some of us with children. Some of us, been married. Some of us getting married, etc. Right?
Yeah.
So.
I would change it. I would change some things. I would.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. All right. Well, why don't we wrap this up and get to our farewells here?
All right. That's going to be it for today's episode.
Thank you again for listening. Keep on listening every other Thursday as Craft Beer Connoisseurs releases a new episode and on our off Thursdays for a producer special.
And make sure to tell your friends, family, and Chuck Norris.
Oh, man. I was hoping it was going to be a professor. I had somebody lined up. Professor Craddock, you're my man. So from all of us and producer Chuck, I'm Tyler.
I'm Rhett.
And I'm Chris. And together we are the Craft Beer Connoisseurs.